Flat Earth British, Martin speaking. Hi guys, just want to check my volume, make sure I've come out. 1 2 1 2 testing. Well, I've got it on my Google Chrome browser for some reason. They have taken my volume off of Google Chrome browser to force me to go onto Edge through an update. Aren't they nice? Anyway, I can presume by my volume here that I'm okay coming through. So what am I doing today? I just left Del's Hangout. I was just watching Del's. So I've just come over to my channel to actually open a new line of inquiry for us all. Something for us to think about, or me to think about. I'm going to go deeper with this because seems Nostradamus, the prophet Nostradamus, Michael Nostradamus, is a flat earther. Through my research, I've got some evidence. His quadrain's flat. Now, who knew? I noticed in a couple of years that the flat earth has been going, that I've been doing this since this time 2 years ago. Am I coming through okay? Scribe, Jay, team, Cindy, love you, girl. Thinking about you this morning. See, I'm pure psychic, I am. Can you hear me? Just say yes, and I'll get on, because I got something intriguing to tell you. Yes? Well, I'll just presume. Oh, yeah, nice one, Jono. That's John Watson. Oh, yeah, presume that's it then. Right, Nostradamus. Now, I've always had an epiphany with Nostradamus. I don't know what it is. Something that struck with me when I was a small boy. The first time I ever heard the name or the word, not knowing what it was, Nostradamus, shook me to the core. I was like, whatever is that? He's a man. What was he? It's a prophet. And this was when I was a boy. This blew my mind, this guy, right? So that's the best source you can get. Erica Cheatham's Nostradamus. But the problem with this is it's written quatrain, and in Hebrew, and in Latin, and in French, and in English translation. And they're written in codex. So they are really, and in allegory as well. So you can make of them what you will. But the evidence in them is quite thought-provoking. And he's a flat earther. I'll give you my evidence now that I've been looking through. The thing is, with Nostradamus, his story ties in perfectly to what's been going on. Now, you can look at this story in two ways with Nostradamus, guys, right? Either he's a guy that didn't exist at all, the bullshit psyop that they made up, or he existed. Now, I know that he existed because I've been to his birthplace, okay? I've seen it with my own eyes. There's nothing there, mind. It's just a cobbly building on a corner of a street in Maribon in the south of France, and there's not even a tourist thing there. There's not even shops, guys. It's just a normal corner of a street. And it doesn't even look that old. It doesn't look 500 old. Anyway, birthplace of Nostradamus. So I walked in the streets where he walked. Now, he was an apothecary. He was a doctor, and he got he got famed in France for treating people with the Black Death, using a mixture of rose water, which I believe is brilliant. I reckon he was onto something there. Rose water. So you put petals into water, and the atomic structure would change in the water, and the water would be treated directly onto the bupas, because with Black Death, they have giant bupas with the blisters under the arms and the groin area. And he was not affected by it. But when you look into him, things start to tie in to the story of what's been going on. Excuse this. Woo! Ongoing. Now, Erica Cheatham, this book is the best source. I've got a few sources for Nostradamus, but that's the book of the film, and I've got just references. But it starts out right. Just give you a brief outline to let you know what I'm thinking about this guy, okay? Now, he's done his work in quatrains to hide it from the Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition, or the Vatican at the time, okay? This was in the 1500s, so it's smack in the middle of the Reformation. The same time you got this going on, Nostradamus, you've got Copernicus doing his bullshit, okay? You've got Galileo Galilei under house arrest from the Vatican, so he don't bring in or say a word about his geocentrism, so he's under house arrest, okay? All of his works are under lock and key, nicely tucked away in the Vatican archive till today, okay? So, Jewish sources which indicate the millennium. Now, it turns out that he's basically was a Jew by birth, but it says here that in 1502, 2 years before he was born, his family converted to Christian. He was also, his grandfather taught him in Hebrew, which I find intriguing, Hebrew. We don't even know who the Hebrews were. You know, there are people that have disappeared off the face of the earth. Nobody knows who the Hebrews exactly were, and their language is very intriguing. So the only thing I can read into by this, he was either completely free of Judaism, or he was what's called a crypto Jew. He was practicing secretly, which they were in the days of the Reformation or the Inquisitions. So he writes his quatrains, which are prophecies, and then they come like this. So you get a quatrain, and then you get the Hebrew, the French, and it's deciphered into the English, okay? Now, it turns out that he's come out with most things, hasn't he? After 9/11, guys, the day after, you were to go on the internet and put in top searches. The top searches the day after 9/11 was what did Nostradamus say about Twin Towers? And is it in there? Well, it's not in that book, but later, apparently, either him or his son, who was a Michael as well, did these paintings, these watercolours. And one of them shows two towers burning on flames. So yes, they were there. The evidence was there that he knew about that, but he mentions the Kennedys, he calls Hitler Histler, but it's not too direct with the World War II because he mentions nuclear bombs. But somebody hammered him, sorry. But when you get back to Napoleon, which is 200 years after time, 300, things start to get really interesting because he guessed this so spot on, guys. Napoleon changed things completely because, as you know, all world leaders have to submit to Rome. They have to bend over and kiss the Pope's ring. That includes the Queen, guys. That includes Chancellor Merkel or any world leader. Clinton's, now it'll be Trump's. He'll have to go and pay homage to the Vatican. That's not what happened when Napoleon made himself emperor in Notre Dame Cathedral. He put a laurel, the same laurel which you will see around the UN flag, the azimuth left distant flag. That same laurel, this is significant, this laurel, I'm convinced of it, that basically Julius Caesar wore. He placed on himself, crowned himself emperor, and made the Vatican kiss his ring and pay homage to him, which was unheard of in them days, guys. So things started to change right there. There was a whammy for Rome. Now, this guy is smack in the middle of this 2 years before, and he knew. He says, from a prince of Corsica, he was from Corsica, he was a prince, okay? From a prince of Corsica, makes himself an emperor, and he says, Rome would submit to him. And it's bang on. Now, in 1500, thought of anything submitting to Rome was not really conceivable, but it happened. So that's right out there. So his prophecies are right out there. But a lot of them, you can read into them what you will, you know what I mean? It's like the Bible code. If you ask the Bible code a question, you'll show up. You'll show up in the Bible code saying you're there asking a question. It's that direct, but it goes on a multi-skip code, and there's trillions of permeations. There's not that many permeations with the quadtrine. We know what the Latin is. We know what the French is. We do know Hebrew. So they've got the English down okay. But when you read it out to yourself, it's not in a way you'd understand. From a great hill rests a man, and a man would look down on a flat plain. Actually, it's not what he says. Turns out that he had a bit of confusion about, he thought there was an edge to the flat earth, but he thought it was either some off of Western France in the Atlantic, okay, but they had discovered America then, or he thought it was further north of Ireland, apparently. I'll show you, I'll give you a little look of this little evidence I found about Nostradamus. Now, it ties right into the story of the Jesuits. It ties in right into the story of the Vatican control system, and it ties right into his prophecies, probably because they're apocalyptic by nature. You put into the mainstream for basically predictive programming purposes. Is there any reality? Well, I know of the Victorian being very much into the prophecies of Nostradamus. So these things have been out a long time, these prophecies. So you can read something into them, maybe. I don't know. He's got something spot on, hasn't he? So I don't know. Anyway, I'm just going to have a quick look in chat. I'm not going to be doing a massive interaction thing because obviously there's stacks of hangouts everywhere, as you know, because this is what happens nowadays. I just let Del Boys chat. I want to touch upon that a little bit in a minute. I'm sure you'd love to hear my opinion on things, wouldn't you? Mm-hmm. And tell you what else I've been up to, because I've got quite a bit on the go. The thing is, I'm a busy man. So let me have a look. Nostradamus didn't predict anything. He was a remote viewer. He was a remote viewer. Yeah, that's right. He did it through different processes. I looked into his remote viewing process. He used two techniques. He used water, which is basically a still body of water, black, and he would see like a looking glass reflection and be able to interpret things there. He used crystal ball, which is as valid as it ever has been, and he used to use incantation. So that was with candle smoke, incense, and he would partake of psychedelics, and he would definitely remote view. I too believe that I can remote view. I've looked into remote viewing all my life, and one of the best goddamn remote viewers of all time, Ingo Swann, died 2 years ago, which is really sad because Ingo have you ever seen the film Men That Stare at Goats, guys? Where there's a little, actually, there's a lot of reality to that. That operation did happen, and psychic spies is a reality. They have got psychic spies. The Russians have a psychic spy program. The Americans have a psychic spy program, and Ingo Swann was one of the main psychic spies. They could find somebody who was missing off the radar or jump the grate and pinpoint him through remote viewing. Oh, he's in a Cathy upstairs, second room from the left, and the feds would turn up, and they would be the person. So remote viewing is a real thing. Why and what? I can't really go into that. Nostradamus, massively intriguing. Now, I just want to just screen share this with you a second. I want to just show you. So what I can make of it is he was a Jew that turned into Catholicism, from what I can make of it. His quatrains were hidden from the Vatican because of what they said. So the only thing I can presume from that is they have something key in them. I'll just bring up this page because this is interpretation of the flat earth is what I have found. So Nostradamus knew the earth was flat, guys. So if anyone says to you in an argument or a debate, no, they didn't know the earth was flat back then, I'm afraid they did, because he knew America was there because it was 100. And basically, hang on, when did Columbus? Well, anyway, the Vikings were there. Bloody Welsh were there. Anyway, the Welsh were in America, like, God, prehistory, guys. So you just bring this up and share it, and I'll read it to you a second. It is a beautiful day today, guys. It is a beautiful day. Okay, can you see that? Okay. So this is evidence that you would see. Problem is, I can't see if I brought it up for you or not. There it is. Okay, this is evidence I found online that the references to Nostradamus and the flat Earth. Location, and perspective. I would like to initiate some decision about a couple of nifty, nosy fulfillments. Nosy is a nickname for Nostradamus. Nosti fulfillments. First, as covered into the intro sketch, Nosti, the Philadelphia experiment. So did he know anything about time travel and the Philadelphia experiment? If you don't know what the Philadelphia experiment is, it's an experiment carried out using Tesla technology into time travel. Apparently, the USS Eldridge vanished from Philadelphia Harbor and reappeared in front of multiple witnesses in Norfolk Harbor, Virginia. So make of it what you will. Apparently people fell off. I can't remember his name. Al Bellick. There's a few others that have been interviewed over the years. There might be something I do not know. Anyway, and the first A-bomb blast, obviously, that's bullshit. So they just chuck that in, don't they? All rolled up into a couple of quatrains, adding Ducci, which is a nickname for basically Mussolini. You start to get into the constellation that blows any chance of occurrences. But that means I could not tell you. Right, where's this juicy stuff about flat Earth? Oh, there you are. However, every interpreter that reads different prints, yeah, it can be interpreted differently to different people. It's a problem, yeah. But where does it say about flat Earth? Oh, there you are. There you are. His view of the world ends 100 or so miles off the coast of West France, or maybe off the coast of West-East England. So he believed that there was an edge, and he believed that it was off them coasts. Oh dear. But he did believe it was flat. So hoorah for Nostradamus, for such a clever chap. He seemed like a high-end intellectual of his day. He was an apothecary, he was a doctor, and got famed. But this discussion that follows on is all about basically pre-Columbian understanding, which gets quite interesting. Now, he had a theory that after the flood, or the biblical flood, after that, when everything started to recede back and the trees were all destroyed, he reckoned everyone started burning the trees clear to make things better again over generations, chucking up far too much CO2 into the air, causing a CO2 greenhouse effect, causing the climate to change, bringing on the last ice age. So even after the last flood, he talks the circumstances of the last ice age, which ended, they say, 12,000 years ago. So that is intriguing, when he's got these insights into, a timeline of events that seem to fit. If I just scroll down the bar here, flat Earth of pre-Columbian understanding is what he talks about. Due to Napoleon, French Revolution, first A-bomb, and the Philadelphia experiment. But he does talk about the flat Earth. Mostly Nosti, his nickname, books that I've ever read seem to fall off the edge of the world just west of Europe, aka the flat Earth of pre-Columbian understanding. So he's a flat earther, no doubt about it. Did he exist? For my money, I don't think they'd have stuck that plaque on his wall. You see it on Google Earth. Go to Narrabone, and you can see it's just a rusticy, stony house with nothing particularly happening, and cobbled street outside. It's hard to believe it was 500-year-old. So for my money, I think Nostradamus existed. When you dig back into its history, it seems that he does have Jesuitical influences. He does have, basically, he's hiding stuff from the Vatican. He's hiding stuff from the Inquisition, same as Galileo. Not Copernicus, not at first. He did it first, but not in the end, did he? He brought that out. So there's a line of inquiry for somebody to follow. I'm going to dig deeper with this. These quatrains take some reading, and it's not a pleasant read. Okay, it's not fun to read. So some of them blow your mind. Really, how could you know that? You know, it touches upon JFK, Vietnam War, 9/11, but that's not in that book. That comes with the following one. That's not the only one. That's the best source, Erica Cheatham. Okay, guys, if you're looking into Nostradamus. Now, I'm not going to make this a long post. I only want to do it live. Just basically, every time I keep uploading a vlog, I did one Saturday, I did one Sunday. I keep basically deleting it so I can free up my broadband to go and hang around in people's hangouts, like Poncho Pete's or somebody's, because that's what I do on the weekend. Flat Earth. So, shall I touch upon it? Shall I? Oh, I better add anyway. This Martin chuck his aprons in. Not that anyone would listen to me anyway. Right, Del Boy and Itchy Bum. Are we going to see what we think about this then, guys? Eh? See, the guy has not come near me. I wouldn't, not with a 10-foot pole, but maybe I'm a little bit common. I don't know. Del Boy, he made a video saying that he said dastardly Jew, but he never, because it's dastardly fucking duo, isn't it? Muttley and fucking dastardly of wacky races. Everybody knows that in Britain, but you should be young so we don't know that cartoon. You know, wacky races. It's brilliant. If you haven't seen it, YouTube it. All right, dastardly and Muttley. Muttley goes. When he doesn't do that, he goes, I can't do it. Antiques. If anyone can identify that, put it on a postcard and send it to P.O. Box Martin 67. No, you can't really. There's a little indentation in the top. You put something small in there and you pull it down and it holds it in place. I'm thinking it might be a diamond cutter tool. It's an antique I picked up, but I don't know what it does. Rather intrigued by it. I was like, what does that do? Might be a medical implement. I don't know. No, it's not for tick. Anyway, Flat Earth. Just got away from Dell's hangout. Now, this has been ongoing for about a week or so. Dell's like brainstorming. IPS is basically... he sees it, he's a psyop, come along to trouble the whole thing, because he comes in and gets like fuckloads of attention. It's not my cup of tea, see, guys, because the stuff he comes out with is stuff that I've been regurgitating for the last 20 fucking years. It's all old. There's nothing, not one fucking word that he said that I never knew. It's like, wow, really, I never knew that. So that's unfortunate. There's nothing to learn there. But I can completely understand, because this is a movement of the people. It is. It's not a movement of, you know, when you get down to the nitty gritty, I mean, guys, all right, there's an entertainment thing going on, and it's an alternative media source where people get away from their bullshit fucking brainwashing programs and see real people sharing their real life experiences in something as unbelievably massive and brain-mashingly brilliant as the Flat Earth Awakening, because it is absolutely amazing, and it's not to be denied, not for a second. So when you realise the importance, then you have to realise, well, hang on a minute, the government, oh shit, no, there's two camps of thought here, isn't there? They want it out, they don't want it out. Well, I think that they're trickling it. I think they're putting it into the consciousness. Now, this stuff does not land on your plate just like that. It's been there all along, but I can't believe I missed it. You know, I just can't believe I missed it. It's like, you know, when they say in the film The Matrix, there's always been something there niggling away at you, and you didn't know what it was. Well, that's how I felt, and it was the shape of the earth. It was bugging me. As soon as I knew, that was it. It's like, that is what that feeling was. Not spinning. I just knew that moment. I knew. So it's profound, isn't it? So it's paradigm changing, isn't it? It's something that does change your life, and it will never ever be able to go back to the old way of living. It's just not going to be possible, guys. It's just not. Now, I watched a video yesterday by Ed Dubay. It was quite a beautiful video in some ways, guys. He touched on health facts and practicing prana and breathing exercises, meditation, some health food stuff. Although I got different dietary needs, as you can see. I'm a Biafran, so I need lots of food. Otherwise, I'll just waste away. But that's me. But yeah, it was everything he said was actually bang on. He touched upon don't lie to each other. Lying seems to be a lot of that going on, but that's just part of life, isn't it? People being what they are, people can't help themselves. But he's right. If you could tell a story true right the way through, beginning to end, you can't go wrong, guys. Oh, what tangled webs we weave when we decide to decide. So he's got a lot of valid points. I can understand. I've seen people like Jeff Stewart say exactly the same thing about people that come out of nowhere, and just basically they're like, everyone just rushes to them because it's new and it's exciting and fresh and wow for some people. I can understand for the new people coming in because they are new, so they weren't here for the progression and I was going to say evolution, but the way this is developed, they weren't here to see. The people who've been here a while know how much effort and anguish and breakdowns and fucking God knows what we've all been through. We've been through it all. We all get burnt out. We get psychic warfare, which leaves you just completely empty inside, where you've just been battling these fucking fucking evil entities for so long, but it leaves you nothing inside. It's just tears you apart. So we do that for the greater good of man, or mankind, man and woman. So that's why we do it, the flat earthers. But there's been this alternative media thing set up, which is really good. I love it myself. It's beautiful and it's about unity and everything else, but it's got to be about unity and truth, you know, and love. There have to be love. I see a lot of love, but I see a lot of nasty shit going down, you know. I try to show people the way. I try to guide them, you know. Even naughty Tim Osmond, smack his naughty fucking wrist for him, and I am smacking his naughty wrist for him. He needs to be a good boy and basically show us who he fucking is. The thing is, guys, you got these people that play you like a fucking violin, but they don't show their face. It really gets to me. That does my fucking head in. I record vlogs live by my front door with a door number over my head. I don't really give a shit. Don't give a shit. But these people who just attack and come up with plans. I watch these things unfold, to be honest with you guys, because I don't know whether these people are aware that I've got a little box in the corner of my computer by here, and it's the like sort of Google Hangouts link, isn't it? And it's always active. So I can literally real time watch these people choreographing evil doings in front of my eyes. I don't say anything because I don't want to get involved, but it's happening. So I know this nasty shit go down. But that can fuck off. That can stop, because that's just fucking detracting and wasting our fucking shit in time. All of these fucking trolls, all of this fucking secular fucking debating is, for me, and I'm not really doing that. I don't mind. I will go in. I had a little go yesterday, but I'm not going to debate. They only chuck up bullshit. 7-star motions, fucking Cavendish. Fuck off. I'm not doing it, guys. I'm just not. It's not a boss. You can't be bothered arguing if they're not willing to just fucking look and do a little bit of revision. Look, you know, get on a computer and do what we all did. There's no use bothering talking. I'm not going to do your fucking research for you. And they keep splurting shit. Do you know what, guys? You go on here now. I'll show you. You know, you bring up. There's another feed I had for Nostradamus and the Flat Earth, and it came up Flat Earth, and you read it from the top, and it's Flat Earth Society stuff. It goes on about the Earth plane rising bullshit per second to account for gravity. Now, as I explained to these people in this fucking radio thing that I went on, there's fucking no flat earther alive that believes that. Who these people are, I couldn't possibly imagine. I've met thousands of flat earthers, and I don't know one flat earther would even think that. That's just stupid shit. We all know that the Flat Earth Society is here just to muddy the waters and make this look fucking nutty. So nobody takes any notice of that. Yet if you go on the internet and you look it up, there it is. That's the main information for flat earth. So these lot who we're doing this with, or using it as a medium to do it with, are playing us. Now YouTube play me like a fucker. I'm getting copyrighted on videos well over a year old. Nobody's watching that. So what are they sitting there watching my videos and cheering a cargo pass with the radio? Because this is just bullshit. I go through them, there's nothing there, but they do. This is getting weekly. So I don't really know what they're doing with me. They are really playing nasty games. Other things I was going to touch upon. Oh yeah. I had an email yesterday off of Raven Wolf 777. She's put this out into the ether and sent everyone this email to bring attention to a case that is being ignored by mainstream media because they are fucking evil Satanist fuckers. Okay, so what's happened here essentially is this. I can't show you the picture because I looked at it yesterday and it put me in a bad buzz, and I had a really nasty vlog that I did, or live post, whereas in I basically had a mad revolutionary tantrum and called to arms, so I had to delete that. So Amanda, okay, now this picture shows a kid who's been taken from his home, taken to a hospital, and they're giving him vaccine. They show you a picture before when he's at home, healthy, lovely little kid, and then there's a picture in the hospital and he looks close to death. So the parents decide they're fucking killing him. Let's get him out of there. They take their boy. It's their boy, isn't it? And then there's a national APB and a manhunt, and they're kidnappers and they're in dead trouble. They're going to go to jail. Now, this is just what, so you cannot save your child from a state that's trying to murder it. Well, we all know the facts. Us lot, we know the facts, but anyone who doesn't, guys, you belong to them. Your kids belong to them. They can come through the door, take your kid away. They can take you away. They can do anything they fucking want with you. This is why I do this. I'm really, really not happy with it. It's a satanic system that has to come to an end. It really fucking has to come to an end. There is a new rhetoric amongst the flat earthers, guys, and it's call to action. This debate has gone on long enough. Now it's time to, next phase, evidence, experiments, masses of people waking up. This is the next stage. Years. That's why I did that god awful radio thing, because I had to be not selfish, think of myself, but think about the years that are possibly listening and will go onto their computer and maybe look at flat earth. So I do it. So this way that these governments, what happened with the BBC and Operation Gumtree and Jimmy Savile, I'm sure you're all aware of that. The Hampstead case, maybe some of you are aware of that. This has happened in Belgium. This has happened in Scotland. This has happened in all over Britain. Australia, America now with the higher up people, Clinton and then Podesta perverts and all the rest of them, Hillary Clinton, all of them. Jigs up. Everybody knows what they're up to, yet everyone's just happy to put up there, like be complacent. So that's sort of shit going down. Fuck that. So that's what I'm doing. I'll carry on doing as well. Push harder as well. More effort, more focus needed. What is really needed is what Del said earlier. We need everyone together. Because if we were one big beast and we worked together, no, they're the beast, we're the anti. And we work together and like one person write letters and one person do this and one person, just an example, have people doing specific what they're good at, jobs to get this coordinated out, but there's none of that. It's all everyone fighting one another for positions of ego things. I'm not free of that guilt. I've done the same thing myself. I did get dazzled by little stars and these lovely, really cool, lovely people who are fucking famous in our circles. Yeah, get a bit like that, but at the end of the day, when you get down to the nitty gritty, it's all fucking bullshit, superficial, blueberries, and a waste of fucking brain space. So that's my thoughts of the day. Nostradamus, look into him. He's a flat earther. I'll do some more digging and see what I can find out about his origins. A couple more things. Did I say my opinion on Del IPS? I don't know. I don't really know. The guy has nothing to do with me, which is really weird because anybody else used to come into the flat earthers, used to come to Martin at one stage. Apparently that doesn't happen anymore. So changed. But personally, I haven't got any feelings, but I can clearly see what's going on. So, seems like a Del Christian, stop bombarding my fucking Skype with crazy shit. I can't put it on. It's doing my head in. Anyway, I don't want to hear shit like that on my own private feeds about who's this and who's that and who's this and wild speculation. It's nutty shit. You're not going to hear that all fucking time. I'm really not doing that with my life. Anyway, Jeff Stewart. Now, he made a post a couple of days ago. Now, Jeff Stewart is considered a mate, and he's made a post, and he says that he's not going to post anymore. But this is, in fact, not the reality, because Martin will be bugging him to death, and I could be really fucking annoying. I can. You know that, don't you, Jeff? So I'm going to be really annoying. I can't really do that. It's needed. Sorry. All hands on deck, I'm afraid. If you do hear this, Jeff, don't be doing that, because I was really into your last vlog, and you had me basically, I was like raving to go on and move mountains. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking have them. There's got to be some good people out there. There's got to be some good world leaders. If there's anyone in this higher echelon of this 1% that are dictating us our existences from the moment we're born, and things like soul sacrifice going on. Oh, yes, they're sacrificing. They're doing everything by the numbers, everything symmetrically, everything is ritualistic. They do everything by the numbers, guys. They bring events forward to coincide with their strange-ass satanic religion that they're practicing. All of them. But there must be one or two good, so appeal to any of the good people out there to come forward and help out in the Flat Earth Awakening, because it gets really frustrating for the people that are in it. It really fucking, excuse me, it does. That's the blueberries. Especially a man in my position, that gives like everything. There's been a few things that have come up lately I don't really want to touch upon, to be honest. It does my head in. But monetization. Now, you may notice I have monetized my channel, but the thing is, I've never, ever, once, last Christmas, I had 70 quid off, and I've never had another penny. So I never earn enough to have any money, because I don't get enough here. So I think, well, it's not worth it in the fucking anyway, because basically I have bad shit for it. But then I think in the back of my mind, well, hang on a minute, though, I got paid that fucking bill. Now I'd be ringing America to try and fucking do that show. Fucking heavy. I've got to pay that bill now. It's going to be fucking horrendous. So I'm thinking about piling a few adverts on forward videos. So if anybody wants to tell me what what they think. It's not greedy, and I ain't a fuck capitalist. I am anti-capitalist, and I can't stand capital. You know that, just say. Anyway, so I won't be staying around for long. So that's what I've been doing. I've been on shows. I went on doing Weavers Friday and a nice little chat on Flat Friday. That's a show I'll be going on for regularly because he gets some good little, basically good little evidences, and he gets little good little things he digs. And I do digging myself, as you know. I just found out Nostradamus was a flat earther. I haven't even seen the word Nostradamus in the Flat Earth Awakening since the very beginning. So I thought I'd introduce it. Nostradamus, although he could be more bullshit and it all could be just a lie. Although having seen his birthplace and the trail left behind of his life, I believe that he was a real entity that did live 500 years ago. I think the 500-year timeline is pretty accurate. We can trace the 1700s and we trace the 1600s, and Tudor England is still here. We still have Henry VIII's castle. I'm afraid Hampton Court is well and truly still there, and it was built in the 1500s. So I've seen Hampton Court and it's there. So the 1500s was there. When they tweaked it was before the Norman conquest, back in the Saxon times. Okay, so and I think they only tweaked a few hundred here and there, maybe 200 here, 200 here. I don't know how they done it. They did it. Okay, this is why you can't go up to a church in Britain, like my church in my main centre of Cardiff. We have a cathedral. I'm a cathedral city, Llandaff Cathedral, but we have a St John's Church, which was built in 1110. Okay, they tell you, but there is no stone reference to 1110 over the door. There's nothing chiseled in, although things can be altered. 1110 proves that building has been standing there for best part of a millennia, which I find fascinating, guys. When they keep saying that, it's been there 1,000 years. Really? You know, 100 years ago, how long ago that was? Anyway, let's have a look at you lot, because I've just been rambling. Oh, I see. Are you sure? Can you hear me? Anybody? Am I on my own? Be a guy? Hi, brother. I thought it was the Satan of the Sea or something. Yeah, mate. I'm not sure about that. I think this is a completely different buzz at sea, guys, that I miss terribly. You don't get the same buzz as you get on land. You're open to different things, different vibrations, and the sea really does, if you pay it respect, it does look after you. It's got an entity. It's a mind of its own. It's like the whole ocean has got a one mind. It's a real crazy thing, guys. If you chuck shit over the side in pollution, you know, the sea treats you badly. Or if you do certain stupid shit like whistle on deck, whistling on deck always whistles up the wind. And does it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it does. The first time I tried it, I thought, fuck that shit. That's just superstition. And I whistled on deck. 2 days later, we were in a force 10 gale. So yeah, that works. So there is like a lot of superstition at sea. A lot of really weird rules that will get you punched if you don't abide by them. One rule was, when I was in the engine room, people who worked on deck could not walk down the engine room without permission, because we seen it as a jinx. Things would start breaking and blowing up and shit, which really did happen as well. So basically, if somebody just a newbie, deckhand, or happy and bubbly, run into the engine room, hey, chief, or me, he would get a punch for being a twat and not asking permission to come in the engine room. There's a telephone by the door. Pick it up, ask for permission to come into the engine room. Then we won't have things blowing up. So yeah, there's a lot of superstition at sea. There's an exceptionally different buzz. The buzz you get on land is more, and the buzz you get at sea is more, like that, if you know what I mean. But I live in a city and the airwaves are confused, yeah, and the airwaves are confused across the world at the moment. I'm picking up an atmosphere amongst the people of an inner worry, a primal worry, because they're edging towards the mongering of World War III, aren't they? It's every other day. It's North Korea sending up bullshit, and they're all just permeating in one way. You can see the way it's going. They're not coming back the other way. I know we're not going back to a better time of a golden age or a happier time without war or pollution and the rest of it. Oh, no. We're going in a hurry towards this bleak apocalyptic scenario they have planned out for us. Fuck that shit. I ain't playing none of their games. None of us are, I don't think. We're all waking up. It's absolutely awesome. Absolutely love it. Flat earthers, though, you're making me great. You're making me fucking great. A lot of you. The worry I got with you lot. The worry. So I got to go back on that radio show. It hasn't actually been taken much notice of, if I'm honest, by the FA. I'm not really bothered, because I'm going to go in again. I'm going to take some troops with me. I'm going to take maybe a friend or two, somebody who's quick firing and can handle being shouted at and shit. So somebody who can handle bad glow bed attack and not give a fuck, keep composure and shit. So I'm going to have that, and I'm going to go in and do my thing. I'm not going to say too much because they might watch this shit. Probably will. Absolutely nothing. They've got absolutely nothing to prove their fucking ball. anymore. Nothing. Every single time is exactly the same. 2 years now, been hearing the same bullshit. It's always the same. Something that they've never seen, they chuck straight up. Oh, the seven. Have you seen it? Haven't you? Go on, then. Go and reproduce it. Go on, then. Go get your balls. Go and reproduce it over by there. Use my binoculars. Go and produce it and prove me. Go on, can't. What are you on about? Shut the fuck up. This is what we got, guys. It's just the same every single time. There's no one, even in months of private debates with the likes of Negatrix or God knows who. I've had them all on me. Fucking NASA think tank fuckers. It's in me with endless equations to prove gravity. I've had, that's just left, but I've had it. I've had it all. Have they come up with anything? It's so simple, guys. It's just so fucking simple. It's 72% water. Water's always flat, aka it's fucking flat. End of. Is I sort of fucking round us? What else is happening? I don't know. I'm open to speculation because I've been open to speculation. I really love to basically mentally play with this, but there is a line, and this is taking a new rhetoric, as I said, to a more serious time. More action and more planning is needed. More meets are needed. People need to meet. More flat earth. It's already 5 months of the year, and I've only been on one meet. That was the Space Centre with Nathan Oakley, be a guy there in chat. Eternal Padawan, who very foolishly bought himself a lightsaber. Now, when I was watching that video with the unpackaging of his lightsaber, I thought, oh dear, that's a grown man with a lightsaber. But I can understand the Trek types go to like conventions and things and enjoy this sort of shit. But then he's in his front garden and he's having a sword fence with his mate, and he falls over and snaps his fucking ankle. So one of the Flat Earth brothers, Eternal Padawan, is in bed with his foot up, and he's fucked up with a bad ankle. So I met him, Karen, can't remember how to pronounce your second name, sorry. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, Plain Ranger's mother. So, and all good people, but like, where's the big meat? Glastonbury's on the horizon. Where's the big meats, guys? I want something to be excited about meeting Flat Earthers. It's awesome, it is, guys. It really is. You basically talk about really cool stuff, Flat Earth stuff. And Flat Earths together are just like different. I'm brilliant over this. Like, I go out, right? I go for the double whammy, guys, right? So first of all, right, there's the photo or painting. So they always look at that. I had up the shop this morning, little girl saying to her mother, look at that, man. Look at that. So I'm like, yeah. And then she looks at my hat. Oh, she can read. So you look at that and you think, well, what's that all about then? Photo or painting? What's the significance of that then? I wonder. And then you see Flat Earth. Oh, Flat Earth. Oh, maybe they could just coordinate the two thoughts together in one massive big moment. So I go out and do that. That's sort of just me going around normally. But I also like to, well, most people that I think are worth talking to it about, which I get trouble with, guys. I get trouble with. I've got locals that really are not happy with me being a Flat Earther. Oh no, they are in the camp of Max Ingram and people like that. And they visit me to basically tell me this shit. Now, what I find is offensive, because basically, if I was like a Muslim or I was a Catholic or something like that, you wouldn't be knocking my door, starting on me about my fucking religion, would you? So can't really start on me about my Flat Earthness. I find it really dead offensive. Just saying, for people who keep hassling me about my Flat Earthness. There's a little bit in here in this Nostradamus book, just back to Nostradamus, where he states that in a time in the future, in this millennia, or this time, I wish I could find exactly what it said, but it was essentially all religions will be hijacked by an evil source or an evil entity. So, which is what's happened, hasn't it? You know, Muslims is a nation of peace, isn't it? It's a religion of peace, but yet the Western powers have hijacked it and made it out to be something that is not. This Christian Muslim war, crusades is well and truly still ongoing as far as I can see. Quest for the Holy Grail. Whatever are they fucking doing? Anyway, it is over. It is over. This, all you need is a couple of thousand of us, or a couple of million, with this attitude of not giving a fuck. Although people got a lot more to do, so I can understand that. But the thing is, with capitalism, guys, this is what really needs to happen is you turn your back on all of it. I know it's difficult. It's like Timothy Leary is in the 60s. Tune in and drop out. Once you tune in and drop out, you end up on the streets of Haight-Ashbury, probably a prostitute or something. It's not a good idea or good advice, but you got to have the knowledge, what I'm saying. The knowledge to be able to prepare for yourself. You know, water is fucking useless. You got no water, you're dead in a week, okay? Food, oh great, you know, you go 3 days without that. You need food, you need water, you need medicines. You need to be able to sort out your body frequency. You need to be able to tap into what makes you well. You need to find out what it's missing and get it. You need to be able to do all of these things. This knowledge knowledge is there in the flat earthers, freely available. We tell you about every flat earthers. We unlock human potential, and we're getting deeper down there. And there's more to show. See what's bringing out this ugliness? Because I've always said, even before I was a flat earther, guys, right, that there is going to be, with this awakening, because I knew there was an awakening before I discovered flat earth. With this awakening, it's going to make good people really good, but it's going to make bad people really bad. And it does feel a little bit like that, because whenever I interact with these globe believers, they tend to get nasty. Well, I don't get nasty about the flat plate because it's reality. I don't get nasty at all. I shout about it at all. Why should I? Look, water does not bend. Okay, water does not bend. Oh God, let's show you the anomalous northern flights to fuck your head up. Oh. This one always gets me. Sorry, this is actually a protective symbol, and I got to keep it actually in position and together. Otherwise, I think I've been affected by the bad entities. It's one of crazy superstitions, guys. I'm sure you can read into that all you want. Now, imagine you're in a plane. Now, imagine this ball on its axis tied to, obviously anchored. The axis is anchored to nothing. So this momentum, 1,000 miles an hour, which was nothing's created, and it keeps it going. It doesn't slow down and stop. It carries on going. And unbelievable speed. So you imagine this spinning at 1,000 miles an hour going in easterly direction. You take off and you're on an imaginary flight going over the North Pole, okay? And you're taking off from JFK, New York, okay? So this is a thought experiment. So the world's turning 1,000 miles an hour at the equator. So let's find New York. So I fly north to New York. All the while it's turning. But does the pilot turn 15 degrees port to account for this turning? No, he's in a straight line. So does the pilot dip his nose to go account for this apparent curvature? No. So he does none of these things. So while he goes up and he goes over the North Pole, okay, and the ball is still spinning, but now the ball is coming down because he's going to land in, say, China, okay, the ball is actually coming up behind him, and he's nowhere really. Could be anywhere. In fact, if the ball's spinning 1,000 miles an hour and he takes off, flies over the North Pole, he's going to land exactly where he took off, probably ahead of time from when he took off, with a turn of the ball 1,000 miles an hour. It doesn't work. The northern flight on a ball from New York, say, experiment. New York to, say, what would be the other side? Vladivostok on the east coast of Russia. Nice big anomalous flight. That flight, once you get over the North Pole and you come back south, and the ball's still turning in easterly direction, but then the ball will be coming up behind you. It's still spinning in easterly direction. The pilot would not count for this 15-degree starboard every time and go into a straight or a nose drop all the time, constantly. They never do this. It's a brain fuck for me. The North Pole flight is an impossible flight. They say you can't fly over the polar regions, okay? But you can. I've got evidence in 1930s magazines and people flying over these polar regions, although nobody has ever flown clear across this apparent Antarctica, which is not there, as they say, or walked across. Never. And they never will. And they never let us. Okay, let's have a little look in chat. Matty's vlog. Oh, hello, Patricia. One love. I was just thinking about you. I'm like that. Oh, I'm highly psychic. Let me see if the eternal Padawan was there. I was thinking about his poor old foot. Yeah, okay. Oh dear. So what do we think of the show so far then, guys, eh? No, don't say that. Yes, that's better. So this week, right, these are words of James, the chemtail taxi driver, who is James in London, who is now Rainbow Hustler, and he gave great advice last night in a live feed. This week, we must spread more love, okay, and more love. Love and truth, and love. Plenty of it this week. I don't like turbulent times, me, guys. I don't like them at all. See me, I'd like everybody in this one thing to be like brothers and sisters, thick as glue, on the outside world. We got all of that to deal with, and we pick on one another. Crazy shit, guys. Look what we're up against. Fucking hell. Nothing less than the beast, who is almost fully grown, by the way. Just look at the patterns, guys. It doesn't take a genius to work it out. It really doesn't. Westminster Bridge, Times Square. It's not just tax. It's not just the false flags. It's the psychological impact of using tourist attractions. These places people know in the fucking darkest Congo. People know Times Square and Westminster Bridge. That's why they use these things. So they come in threes with these people. So the next one is due. Now, in a fortnight time, we have a general election being called in Britain out of the blue, but they have no, a bit like the Third Reich. Now, this is coming off in 2 weeks, so I can only surmise, I hope I'm not pathetic here, that they will do something to detract the minds from the vote and the election around that time. So something's going to happen around that time. And God, I hope it's not bigger. But the pattern, guys, the way that it's the Nice, the Paris, the Melbourne, all the same MO. If you want to kill people, you do not jump in a car and ram him in a car. That's just not. That's just not a reality. There's so many other ways. That's just not a reality. People are not doing that. Okay, that's just what we know because we see the evidence. We got people working on it, haven't we, to pick it apart? People like Russian vids. Okay, true. So I can see a clear pattern, and if you follow the numbers, then all you got to do is look for a date which is significant in the horoscope, as in equinoxes or specific dates, and couple them with what they're up to, and you'll find out exactly when the next bullshit false flag event is due. And it is coming up to the election. The election is pulled because of that, because of a date. I can almost guarantee it. 2 weeks' time, Whitsun. It's Whitsun. So is there an anti-Whitsun? Probably, yeah. So that's what's going on there. So that's coming up. So keep an eye out for that, guys, because that's a definite reality. I just know it. I can follow patterns, you see. I'm quite good. There's something to do with my psyche. I'm a pattern follower. That's why I was always good at being like a detective as a kid. I always know done stuff at the beginning of the film. It was really annoying as a child. So I had to follow trails. That's why I followed the Nostradamus trail. Nobody had picked up on that he was a flat earther, and he was completely involved in this time of the Reformation or the time of awakening, or they say of enlightening in the 1500s, when they came up with this really dark, depressing era into a new era of art and forward thinking. But it wasn't. It was control. To control forward thinking, they basically run the two first universities in Britain and the type in the world were, as you know, Oxford and Cambridge. These were set up 500, 600 years ago, exactly around this time. So they got power of that. So all the information that comes out of that is what they dictate. So every single thing is handed to us from them. So nothing is to be believed. It's bits of truth in it. If you trace the crumb trail back to, say, somebody's burial point, like you can carry a crumb trail for Karl Marx, for example, and then you'll find his grave in Highgate Cemetery in London, which is where he's buried. People like that, so you know that they exist. You can follow their crumb trails. I followed a crumb trail with Nostradamus. I can say, from my experience, the guy existed. There's enough evidence, and I've seen his place. So and everyone there sort of knows about him, and that. So that's what I think. I think he's definitely a key to it all. Galileo, this closing down of information, this swapping of information, and this way that it all came at the same time as when the English language got introduced. You got the King James Bible came along in 1500 to deal with regional dialects in Britain because people from Shropshire couldn't understand people from Lincolnshire. So they introduced the Bible, King James Bible, into the local parishes. They pick up on a local normal English dialect, or day King James English dialect, and that has been exactly the same era as Nostradamus. Is information written in quatrains to hide it from them through remote viewing. Prophecies, remote viewing, different things altogether. Remote viewing is real time. It's got to be with remote viewing. The thing has to be existing now on the plane. He explains one of his visions using the water technique, which is still water as a looking glass, where he said that he's turned a corner and he's seen a great fire, a city on fire, which was interpreted as the Great Fire of London. But he said he's seen a great domed building. So people have been wondering, was it St. Paul's during the Great Fire of London, or was it the Reichstag? But he turned a corner and in front of it, so we can see this shit going down hundreds of years ahead of time in his vision. So he was a prophet, remote viewing outside of the timeline. Somehow. Is there any truth? I don't know. But I am intrigued, and it has struck a chord with me my entire life, and I don't know why. What's the chances, guys, from a guy in Wales who's been really mega interested in Nostradamus ending up in his birthplace? I'm just saying, there's something in it for me. So I would dig deeper. I would dig deeper into how they did it. In the meantime, in the interim period, with doing things like trying to get this out into more years, more people. That's what we need. So we need meats. That's what I want. I want meat. I want to meet flat earthers. But Turner Padwan busted his foot. Oh God. That's what I want. I want meat. I want people to talk away from the computer, and it needs a plan. It needs plan courses of action. Coordinate. There's loads of ways. Things, guys. I'm handy with a tin of paper. I'm not really bothered. Flat Earth. Motorway bridges. You could put it on a bed sheet on string, and as thousands of people are coming home from work. Put a big flat earth across a motorway bridge tied on with string. So they look at flat earth. Everybody sees it. There's a million ways to be able to spread this around, but we need a concerted effort. Maybe if people could be working with one another, anyone needs anything like flyers to put out, I've got PDFs of them. That's leaker7gmail.com. I can pass them to you. You can hand them around in the street, or leave them somewhere, slip into a newspaper, book, on a counter, anywhere, anything. If we all do that, there'd be 10 times as many in no time at all, really, instead of just wasting time. But that's it. I know it's fun. So, guys, let's have a little look before I shoot off, because I've been talking an hour and I only wanted to leave it an hour anyway. I was watching another show and I was like, oh, I think I'll have a live event. I want to talk about Nostradamus for an hour, see if anyone turns up. Oh, God. I'm glad some of you did, so thanks. Hey, guys. Hey, Scribe. Hey, Jerry. Oh, yeah, last night when I was saying shut the fuck up, I was on about Gem Panda. He was impersonating someone else and being a really annoying person, like he always is. Dan W. Oh, I've got nothing against him. He's just annoying. He knows he's annoying. He does it on purpose to wind me up. He knows I'm offended by his total poshness. He's so anti-posh, guys. Just can't help it. Are you Ian Tilsley, brother? He's a good man. Mary? Yeah, I was going to mention that, Mary, but people wouldn't believe that because it was here, wasn't it? Yeah, Mary just said in chat, there was the guy that mounted pavements and rammed everyone's here. Yeah, there was. Outside my door, right here, outside, a crazy Polish van driver mounted pavement and killed this girl, Maria, a local girl. She tried to protect the child. I think he killed about 3 that day and injured about 10. They locked him away. He had a nervous breakdown. So this shit does happen and cars and vans do kill. No doubt about it. At the time, I was living home 3 years ago. And my mother was on holiday in Belgium and she's in Zeebrugge, Ostend, and she's in a hotel and she looks at the BBC News and this house is on the BBC News where the police are doing door-to-door inquiries with the television cameras following them round, and the television cameras are at the end of the gate here. So my mother's sitting in the Belgium hotel going, my house is on the BBC telly. And they all think, oh my God, she's nuts. But it was, because I seen it. So he was outside my house. So that shit does happen, but like that never made a footnote in the news. You know why? Because it wasn't a tourist attraction. Lots of people died and it was real. It was splattered. There was blood there for ages. It was a reality. Oh, God. I didn't want to bring that up. It was awful. Yeah, Maria, she was a young girl. She pulled a child out of the way to protect her and I went and killed her. So it is possible. But like I said, it never made a footnote. It's really strange, these things, guys, the way they run this. If there's certain cases they bring no attention to whatsoever, and others they highlight like, no, tomorrow. Really. There's an agenda with it all. Even these cold cases of people that, got missing and haven't showed up yet. One person in particular who I'm thinking about being very prominent in the BBC News is something to do with all of them and this satanic system we find ourselves in that we have worked out and we are opposing. And we're not going to have no more of it. Are we? Well, I ain't. Fuck that shit. But wait. I'm terrible, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm just not going to put up with it. I'm just not. I was not born to be their bitch. I was not born to be their slave. None of us were, guys. None of us were. Well, dragged through school, mind control programs from 3-year fucking olds. A brilliant idea. Make a confusion so you can't think about where you really are. And all you are to do is look around you and see the immediate world around you. And do you see any ball? Well, no, not really. Where'd you see the ball? In pictures and on television. And it's the only time you will ever see it. Like these events, you're never there. Only in television pictures. Everything is shown you guys. You think they can't tweak that? Do what they want. You see the movies, haven't you? And you see how they're coming on, haven't you? Yeah, exactly. Right. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to upload this guy. Oh, I don't have to. Oh, super duper. And I'm going to go. So that's what I'm going to thinking about at the moment is Nostradamus is a flat earther. Just Google it for yourself. You will see there is evidence in his quatrains to the flat earth, although he does believe there's an edge. But hang on, in 1542. No, when was the Mayflower steam train? So this is before the Mayflower. So he would have known of the Americas for sure. He was a remote viewer. Of course, he knew. He talks of the new city. He calls New York the new city in the new land. So he speaks of a new land. But these quatrains are the most intriguing thing. If you delve into them or you try and understand them, they seem to speak to you. Really strange. They do. They make sense to different people. They really do. And when you look for the flat earth, there it was. And it turns out he was a flat earther and hiding shit from the Vatican. Intriguing, isn't it? And everybody in them days had to bow to the Vatican. But he was a different sort of man. He was revered in his own time. He cured lots of people with this cure that he found through rose water. Really intrigued about that because of the properties of water, which also need to be looked into. The properties of water are undeniable. Water has a memory, and it's a fact. Water has memory. As we know, you can You can put water in a bottle or a plant in a water and put, you are disgusting, and another bottle of water, you are beautiful. You can look at the molecules of the water under electron microscope, and then the ones with you are disgusting will look terribly deformed, and the ones that you are beautiful will be all basically like bliss and really beautiful, like snowdrops. So even the written intent has meaning. So even written words have meanings, guys. Yeah, everyone dishes one another in chat, yet written words have meanings. But besides the written word has meanings. Sorry, I was just sidetracked by that outside. Sorry. You can't hear it from there, can you? Do you know what, guys? My brain just went dead. I'm going to fuck off. You go and find somewhere else to go now anyway, and don't get lost on the way home, okay? Or you are home? Oh, okay, that's good. I'll be back soon, guys, okay? I will be having live events. I keep having mail of people saying they miss my live event because it's like the good old days. I miss my live events as well. I mean, I like the good old days. I will crank them up, but it's a timing thing, me see, guys, timing thing. I'm always busy just lately, and I'm doing stuff as well. So, I think a scheme, I plan. Anyway, peace and love to you all. Let's all be good people. Let's all love one another, look after one another, and pull together. Okay. Obviously, you don't have to me to tell you about superficial bullshit being a waste of space in this life, do you? Because we're all flat earthers, and because we discovered that we're on a flat plane, that there's a creator, aka he's watching our asses. So let's just get it right. Don't think there's too many shots getting it right anyway. So use that opportunity to get it right for humanity, because basically there's no greater truth than the flat earth, guys. Okay, no greater truth, never will be. Okay, is it coming out? Just everywhere. It's all over the internet, and people out there know. Okay, I was at a checkout in the supermarket the other day, and the boy said, "Thank you, Martin." That threw me. Thank you, Martin. What are you, a psychic assistant? How did he know my name? I gotta go. Peace and love. I'll see you on the scene later. Be good. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, guys. I'll leave you with that. Is that okay? Okay, I'll see you on the scene later. Good. Peace and love. Extra peace and love week this week, guys. Okay. Oh, and every week after. Just increase it. Okay. Okay, it spreads. Believe me, because I was talking about the memory of water. And just remember, you are mostly made of water. So when you say unkind things to people, they're made of water. There's an actual physical effect. It works for the written word, and it works for the spoken word, because water has memory. If you have to use scientism, it's scientifically proven. Molecules do exist because I've seen them. Atomos, I'm not quite sure. I've seen quantum effects, but have I seen an atom? Well, obviously fucking not. Have I seen a molecule? Yeah, under an electron microscope. So they exist. So I'm sticking with what I've seen, okay? And I know that water has memory. I know we're mostly made of it, aka we're charm. So if you say real good things to people and you give them that buzz, it comes back. It's reciprocated in a good way. So go out there projecting your love and see what comes back, okay, guys? And remember, if you're not grateful for what you got, you don't get any more, okay? Peace and love. Keep on spreading it. Bye, guys.